Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 12th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. Where I'm reviewing the S&P 500, that's SPY on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's look over here at these charts and see what's happening. And I know we had I was out last week, and I did place one trade. So when things start dropping like that, I started looking for what do I want to own now and all that, but I'll sell a put because options do get inflated. The VIX is high, and that's a good time to take ownership of stuff that you may like. I like taking ownership, not taking ownership, but selling puts, because again, they're a little juicy. It's nice money there, and I just take a chance, something that maybe I was looking to buy, and now that it's dropping and giving me a good pullback, sell a put. No trade recommendation, but that's one of the things I like doing. But let's go ahead and get into this market review on the S&P 500. Oof. This month, this quarter, we still got that all-time high still showing up there. Right now, we pulled back below a yearly resistance one. These are yearly pivots here that I'm looking at here on this quarterly chart. So again, we're still green. We're still looking good. Nothing crazy has really happened yet. Let's go ahead and go down to our monthly chart and see what we see there. Because this is why I say that. Because again, we're still above the 9-10 moving average, which is this blue line. Technically, if we are above that, some of us like to say that we are in a bull market still. And one of the things that happened here down there that I'm looking at this in May, it was a really pretty hot month. We came up to a resistance 3 level. A lot of times when I say we had a resistance 3 level, I say sell, 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 sell. No trade recommendation, but that's what you will see if you kind of study this and look at this stuff and all. That resistance 3 level is a pretty strong sell signal, and that's what actually happened there, And plus, we was probably looking for a rotation. Well, we was looking for a pullback anyway, But again, you have to come up with any kind of reason or excuse that you want. It was due. That's all I can say about that. But that's where we're at right now. We pulled back. We got a little bit of pullback this month. We actually beginning to form a little bit of a wick here, where this market is getting ready to start shooting back higher from what it looks like. But we got to kind of just wait and see what's going to happen here. All right, but let's go ahead and go down to our weekly chart. What we can see there. Boom, weekly chart. On this weekly chart, the SPY still ended up red for the week, and it didn't get back above pivot, put on these monthly pivots. That's one of the things that if it really was really strong, this still is a very strong weekly candle with all this wick here on here. But I would have liked to see it get back above this monthly pivot line right here. That would have been really nice. Last week, the week that I wasn't here, we did get a pretty good pullback, with all this wick that we have down here on this candle, look like it may be done. But we just got to kind of wait and see what's going to happen. Wait for that confirmation and all, because again, this is still red. It couldn't push it all the way back green. It couldn't get back above pivot. So again, just pay attention to your trading plans and your trading strategies and just trade accordingly. This thing may or may not be done yet. So be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, let's go ahead and go down to our daily noise and wrap this on up. Let's zoom here. And that's why, again, looking at this daily picture, this is kind of like this 2-candle pattern here. I think they have a name for it at Right Side Trading. And this is usually a pretty strong pattern when we see this. And we already got a little bit of a confirmation. But again, based on my weekly pivots on this daily chart, we didn't get back above pivot. So it obeyed one of my rules: on the pivot, stay on the pivot, once you get down there and all. So that was pretty good. But come next week, I'm looking at this market to actually open above pivot and then continue going higher based on what we see here. So again, my target is going to be up here at least at 750, and it can probably go higher because that's only $10 away. And the way this thing has been moving, it can move $10 in a week, no problem at all. So we just got to kind of be patient, wait and see what happens based on your trading plan and your trading strategy. Trade accordingly. That's all I can say. That's pretty much it. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.